Welcome back to our channel, YouTube. Just close up for the day. Going to show you a couple things we did today. Dodge Nitro 2011. Had a couple complaints. First one was the ABS traction control lights were on. And what we had there was a left rear wheel speed sensor code. Wasn't reading on the scan tool. When we went to replace it, was that the sensor had broken, and that broken sensor was caused by some DIY repairs, which was ultimately a wheel stud install gone wrong. I'm not sure if you can see by the splines there, it's kind of tapered or like a hump, but there were two of these in the left rear wheel hub that did not get seated all the way against the hub, so they were sticking out about a 1/4 inch, and that caused as they rotated, they went and broke the sensor. So we did a sensor, put in 2 new studs and also 2 new lug nuts, because every time I replace studs I put new nuts on there. They weren't in great shape. Another DIY thing that's gone slightly wrong or problematic for a customer. This flex is the one we did a timing chain on about a week and a half ago. Customer took it home, called me the next day, said it's got no power, it's hesitating, it's not acting correctly. Spent an hour or two on this past Thursday figuring out that it was some mechanical drag on the old brake rotors. So both front rotors had, brake calipers. Both front calipers were dragging. The cause of that was these little nubs on the pads. I guess a while back someone had replaced pads and rotors, and they put the inner and outer pads swapped. So on the inner pad there's a nub kind of in the middle, and what that was doing was that nub in the middle was riding on this part of the caliper, causing the pad to sit at like an angle, damaging the calipers, pads, rotors, causing mechanical drag on the car when it was running, driving. And in the scan tool my tech found that the load was almost 100%, which then reduced the engine power and caused all sorts of issues unrelated to the timing problem. Here is that front left caliper, and this is exactly how it came out, but it was seizing up, locking those pads against the rotor and causing the issues. I'll also mention that the other complaint for that Nitro out front was an oil leak or transfer case fluid leak from a seal that the customer tried to install himself. So 2 DIY problems, both fixed now. But again, if you're in over your head or you just don't have enough experience or something, maybe take it to a pro. And I am trying out this new wireless mic, so hopefully you guys can get a little bit better sound, and just let me know if it's good or if it's bad. Another one, 2000 Isuzu Trooper. We are doing a transmission replacement. I guess the customer bought the truck recently. The previous owner had rebuilt the one that was in there, but also had a spare. Don't know the whole story. But what was happening is that the car had no first gear. You could only get it to move forward by pushing this ice driving mode button in the center console, which we figured out starts the car off in second gear, I guess, to avoid like tire spin in ice or snow. So effectively, first gear was not present. This is the old trans. Sorry, that's the new one. Sorry, no, that's the new one. This is going in, the one that he had. And this has also supposedly been rebuilt or something. Probably not going to answer that. This is the trans that came out of the car. Now, the previous owner to him told him he needed to replace a torque converter. So I got one of those. And need to replace a torque converter seal. This one's kind of weird. This is a GM 4L30 trans, and it's got torque converter seal. Well, the one I ordered, which is the AC Delco part, didn't fit. Also didn't have the bolt holes, which is okay. I think there's been a redesign. But what I found was on the back of the seal, you can read an NOK part number. I googled that. The only thing that came up was one part number cross-reference that I then matched with Advanced Auto Parts, a national brand, and yeah, it doesn't have the 3 screw holes, but it does fit quite nicely in there, and it's a press fit into the case, so the 3 screws are not really necessary. The torque converter, new one, is blue. It had 2 options. One had 6 lugs on the perimeter and one had 3. That was pretty easy to see. So that is what we've been working on a Monday, and I will probably see you again tomorrow. Thanks.